Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is day one of the Leech Lake Bassmaster Open.
Day one. And we're in the truck.
And we're in the truck.
It's 10:30 in the morning.
It's 10:30 in the morning. Day one was postponed. So the weather conditions, spit an image of what it was last year. It was windy and blowing. What was supposed to be day one, it was postponed. This lake gets pretty big, not gonna lie. It's a huge lake. It's not very deep, so you don't really get the big rolling waves like you do on the Great Lakes. They just get really close together and can make navigation absolutely terrible. So Bass made the call to postpone the tournament, so we're gonna go chase.
It was the right call, too.
Yeah, it was. It was. And everybody gets all up in arms about cancellations and stuff. It's like, you guys don't have a choice in the matter. It's the weather. You can't control the weather. It is what it is.
Yep.
So just live with the decision that they made and move on.
Get over it and go have fun fishing like we're doing today. We're going to go enjoy ourselves.
We're up in northern Minnesota. You can hold up a map and throw a dart and land on a body of water that's got big largemouth or big smallmouth in it.
We're going to one of the most amazing little lakes ever. It's undisclosed. Y'all will not know what it is.
You will not know what it is. I probably won't take a lot of videos there either, to be completely honest. But we're gonna go catch some dang bass today, make the most of it. We got all the ALX Daiwa combos dialed in, the Bass Cat's fueled up. We are ready to go for day one, but day one's gonna be tomorrow. But now, we're gonna go catch some dang bass.
Yes.
Let's get it, dude.
Let's go.
Go catch some bass. Get to work. Took long enough. Oh, that was cool. Number one's gonna have to go. That was an awesome strike, though. Oh! Way too excited on that one. Oh. How are they not getting? You're setting the hook too fast, dude. That was a good one. Ouch. Number two. I got him. Man, it's crushing it, dude. That's a better one. Oh. Yeah. Alright guys, sorry about the lack of video today. The GoPro died and I was just really not willing to mess around with it, but we got five for like 11 pounds. I played around with the largemouth a little bit more than I probably should have, because the first bowler that I pulled up to that I had marked, I cast it at, fish went straight down to it and ate it. I bounced around a little bit, upgraded one more time with a little one, nothing too crazy, but still good to come in with a limit. I don't think the weights are as high as they were last year, but they're still pretty stout. I'm going to have to catch these 16, 17 pounds tomorrow to keep myself inside the top 50. So we'll see. Let's get him in the bag and get out of here. First fish of the day. That's one. There's two. The two that we needed desperately to get rid of. Three. There's four. Last but not least, of course, he's the angriest. That's five. Big, beautiful brown bass. That's it. We got five. Let's go weigh them. Well, what a day that was. Wow. 12-7. Not good. Not where I want to be sitting right now. They caught him. Of course they did. Caught him better than last year. The leading weight isn't as high, but still it goes way further down the leaderboard. So we got a lot of work to do. I mean, right now I think the cut weight is, it's over 15 pounds. So I need the biggest bag I can catch. I guess there's really no other way to put it. I can't even put a number on it right now. We calculated based on last year's weights that I was going to need probably around a 15-pound average to have a shot at a top 50. But that's bumped up because everybody else is catching them. So we got some work to do. But I had the opportunities. That's the part that really irks me the most about it. I just missed a bunch of fish. Or didn't miss them, but they didn't really get the bait, or I pulled it away from them. They were missing the bait. Like, it was just a weird morning fishing for largemouth. And then the smallmouth here are the smallmouth here. I got 3 bites, landed all 3 of them. They just weren't. One of them was a 3/8. The other one was like a 2-pounder, and then the other one was just over a pound. So didn't really do me a whole lot of good. But found a bunch of them that I couldn't get to bite, which is pretty standard if you've ever fished a tournament here. You see them, and they don't eat anything. So, that being said, I haven't looked at the points. My buddy Colin, I was just talking to him. He was in 55th in points, and he dropped like 7 places after today, and he had 15 pounds. So I'm kind of scared to see where I would be sitting. So I'm just not gonna look. I'm just gonna wait until the tournament's done and chips fall where they may. But tomorrow's another day. Doesn't really look like a whole lot of changing conditions like I thought. I mean, I thought the wind was going to blow, but it's going to blow out of the northeast at like 5 to 9 miles an hour. So it might change some things, but pretty much the direction it was blowing all afternoon. But it didn't seem like we're going to get a lot of sun. It's going to be overcast. So, longer day tomorrow. We got some work to do. Let's go make it happen. All right, y'all, here we go. Day number 2. Bassmaster Opens here on Leech. And we are sitting in the water right now waiting for takeoff. Wind's blowing. No surprise, we're up north. But got the rods all out. Ready to rock and roll. Today's going to be an interesting day. A little bit of change of conditions. So some people are going to struggle. Some people are going to catch them. And we need to be one of those people that catches them. So that is the plan. We're going to start out going for green ones. And then we're going to switch it up and go for brown ones. We're not going for green nearly as long as we did yesterday. We're going to give it till 8:30, 9 o'clock and then go. But it's a really fun place to fish. It's challenging, but it's really cool. It's a really cool lake, really cool system. Everything here is so healthy. So looking forward to getting out there. Let's get it. Well, that was bumpy. that one. They're starting yesterday. He ain't a giant or nothing. That's probably 2-pounder. 231. 231. Two. Okay. Shake. You're gonna do it. Just do it. 2 3/4. All right. 3-pounder. We're just gonna pick our way through this stuff. There you go. I've already hit it. Look for that joker, he got that frog. Gone. 2-pounder. Bag grass on. Oh, you just need a big bite. 2 3/4. He freaking freight trained that thing, dude. I think he's gonna be our smallest. Well, not quite, but he's still gonna. 251. 1 2.5, 2 3/4. I hit that one so dang hard, strip drag. Keep it going. Oh, what the heck? Dude. biggest one yet. Whew. And he's a lively one. 3 3/4. Okay. Okay. Got me scared there for a second. Man. And he got me. And I wasn't letting him get away. He spined the crap out of my hand. So totally worth it. Walleye. The size of that thing. Jeez. There we go. Once again, the camera decides that it'd rather be pointing down. Oh my goodness, my first day on hooking a bass? I guess so. Brown one. Finally back to work. That's what we're talking about. Thank you, Lord.
501. That's 5 pounder. 5 pounder right there.
Well, guys, we're back here at the weigh-in. GoPro's cut out again. Sorry about it, but you didn't miss much. You saw my last upgrade, and then I ran around for the last 2 hours. Didn't miss any more. And those 2 smallmouth that I did miss this morning might be a little bit of a different story, but it is what it is. Still had a lot of fun out there. All y'all did miss is a really rough boat ride back to the ramp. So this bass cat needs some TLC, that's for sure. Let's put these fish in the bag, see what they weigh, see where we end up.
1. There's 2. 3.
There's 4. One more.
One more, nice one, huh?
Finally got one of the right colored ones.
Nice bag.
Oh, paid for the rough ride.
Yeah, good rough out.
Are you ready? We're about to crown a champion. All right, he rolled into today with the lead with 22 pounds even from Leech from Minnesota. Step on up. 4 in the bag, but he does not need that much. Looking for 17-14, or it's going to Laker Howell. 4 fish. 22 even yesterday, 17-14. Would be Kyle Meeky. Settle down. Mark is 17-14. 11 pounds, 8 ounces, and that means Laker Howell. And while the emotion is high, John, if you would grab that middle trophy for me really fast. And ladies and gentlemen, Walker, Minnesota, I'm going to introduce you to your champion. His father is a classic champion, and now he is headed to the classic. Laker Howell will grab that trophy and hold it high. A 2-day total of 39-13. Your champion, Laker Howell.
Secret sauce right there.
The secret sauce. Steak omelet at Jimmy's. You gotta get it.
What an end to a week on Leech Lake. Super excited for my boy Laker Howell. Obviously taking the win. I couldn't be happier for a dude. If it's not going to be me to win, obviously I want it to be my bro. He's like my brother. I was so happy to see him win, and I was so happy to be there and be able to support him. So huge shout out to him. He busts his butt. He travels all over the country, fishes a ton of tournaments. It was just really cool to see him win his first big tournament like that, and it was doing something that he absolutely loves. He loves throwing frog. That's his deal, and he did it. He got it done on a frog. So guys, not a terrible finish for me. Not where I wanted to be. My day one kind of hindered me a little bit. I ended up in 58th place, and I mean, I executed the game plan. I missed a couple fish on day one, and I had a couple fish that I did not connect with on day 2. Day 1 kind of made my way through those areas pretty quick. I was rushing myself way too much. I kind of gave myself a time restriction on how long I wanted to spend there and chase largemouth around, because I knew I was going to catch the bulk of my weight chasing smallmouth. I had a lot of bites chasing smallmouth, and really the conditions only lined up for one day to be able to do it. So I wanted to be out of that area at a fairly decent time, and 10:30 I decided to pull the plug and get out of there. And my first stop, my second boulder I casted at, I caught my smallmouth that I was looking for, and it was a 3/8. So that was huge for me, calmed me down a lot, but I knew that I needed to upgrade. Came in with only 12 pounds. I had 2 decent fish in the live well, and the rest of them, I had 2 1-pounders that I just could not get rid of. Day 2 was where I really turned it around. Got into my area that I rushed through on day 1 and just slowed way down. Put the frog in my hand and just picked everything, every little nuance that I thought there would be a fish in. I just took my time, fished it, and had a pretty successful morning, leaving my largemouth area with 14 pounds. So the tools that got it done for me this week when it came to the largemouth, this was my bread and butter. I was throwing a couple other different kinds of frogs. I was throwing a buzzing frog as well, but this one right here was what did most of the damage. That is a snag-proof Bobby's Perfect frog, and you can tell that this thing has been beat up. Just throwing this around rice patches, around lily pads, just picking areas apart slowly was the key during the tournament to be able to get a lot of bites. And man, I tell you, those fish woke up and chose violence most of those days. Holy crap, some of the most violent frog strikes I've ever had. And I fish the Mississippi River. I fish a lot up north. I throw a frog on a fairly regular basis, and these fish were just mean. Totally different caliber, and they get in that rice and they are just dogging you. It is insane how strong some of those fish are. So your setup was key. The frog, very important. Super soft frog, and makes them hooks pop out. Definitely a must-have to get a very high hookup ratio. I didn't miss a whole lot. The ones that I missed just didn't connect. But the rod that I was throwing that on was an ALX Ecos Hammer 7.3. This is a heavy 7'3", hence the name 7.3. And I had that paired up with the Daiwa Tatula CT in an 8.1 gear ratio reel and 65-pound Samurai braid. So when I jacked them, I just started winching, and I would pull back all sorts of lily pads and milfoil and rice and whatever it was that those fish were in. I was not letting them get away. I hauled their butt to the boat with this setup. So that was the setup mainly for the largemouth. Obviously, like I said, targeting rice fields. Leech Lake is full of them. Of course, there's a bunch of regulations on the rice. You cannot bury your boat up into the rice. You can't really get like to some of these ponds that you were seeing. You couldn't get to them because there's no straight path to get there. You had to go through a bed of rice, which you could not do. So I just didn't do that. Hunkered around and just slinked around in an area and was able to get a bunch of bites. That being said, I did catch a number of smallmouth, not a ton, but the two fish that made a difference for me, the first day, that 3.8, and the second day, I caught a 5-pounder chunking boulders. The game with the smallmouth fishing, not a lot of bites. You talk to the guys that had a limit of smallmouth and they did not get a lot of bites. Some of them had maybe up to 10 bites a day, but the average that I heard from the guys that brought in a limit was 5 to 7 bites a day. And that is why I had to target largemouth, because of being in it for points. But I still wanted to fish for smallmouth. That's where I'm comfortable. And the way that these Leech Lake smallmouth relate, they relate to structure. They're not really roamers. You don't go out and chase them. You can ping a minnow, but you're throwing at boulders, at rocks, shallow, deep. You know, I was fishing everywhere from 2.5 feet all the way down to about 15 feet. And that's where I got a lot of my bites in practice. And the two fish that I caught were in about that 7 to 10 foot range. And that was all done with the drop shot on the ALX Zolo Diplomat. This is a 6'10" medium action spinning rod. The action is perfect for throwing a drop shot. Had that paired up with the Daiwa Tatula MQLT, 10-pound Daiwa J braid to a 6-pound Seagar Tatsu leader, number 2 drop shot hook, and then a Texoma Tungsten 1/2 ounce. I threw a 1/2 ounce, and I was throwing a no-name dice. I say it's a no-name dice because it's a homemade dice that I was given by a friend. And that is what I caught both of my keepers on. And all I was really doing, I would just see them, throw over to it, let it drop, and just let it sit there. And a lot of times, if they were in the mood, they would just swim over and eat it. Not a whole lot of action was taken to that, but just throw it a boulder. And that was another thing too with the smallmouth. It came down to a numbers game. You had to try and cast at as many rocks as you could throughout a day. So I run and gun. The rest of the day after I left my largemouth spot, I hit a very large number of areas, and some that I saw fish on, I added them to a rotation. And towards the end of the day, when it started getting to a time crunch, I would just go back to those spots to see if they were set up to feed. And some of them bit, some of them didn't. I left quite a few fish out there that just wouldn't bite. That's the thing about Leech Lake that a lot of people, the number of smallmouth is a lot bigger than people think. I found that out in pre-practice, but they just don't have to eat all the time. There's food around them all the time. From shiners, perch, crawfish. There's rusty crawfish throughout that entire system. Everywhere you go, from shallow to deep, every single rock has a number from them. So if they just want to eat, they kind of just roll over and they can probably see a crawdad that they're going to eat. So getting it in front of a fish that was hungry was key. And that's why you had to hit a bunch of different spots, because they don't have to eat all the time. There's food everywhere. And there were windows that they would bite. I mean, I never got onto the morning bite because I was chasing largemouth, but I know there was a morning bite of smallmouth going on. And then sometime in the afternoon, you could time those boulders out right and you were able to get a couple more bites. But guys, that was it. That was my 1-2 punch. Had a couple other rods rigged up on the front deck to throw at them, just to add any rotation, you know, like a tiny jig. I was throwing a tube. I had minnows on. I had 2 different minnows on that I was trying to throw at them, and none of those really got it done. But it was the drop shot on the Diplomat, and definitely would put majority of my weight in the boat this week. It was a fun way to do it, and that was throwing a frog. But that ends the regular season of the Bassmaster Opens, and I ended the season in 48th place, solidifying my spot in the Bassmaster EQs. So we're just getting started. That was the goal. Get into the EQs, and now is when it really matters, because you got to make it into the top 10 in these following 3 tournaments to make it to the Elite Series. The first stop of the EQs is on Champlain. Then we go to Lake Wheeler down in Alabama, and then Okeechobee to end the season in November. So that's the breakdown of Leech Lake. That's where we're sitting. We get a clean slate starting off on Champlain in a couple weeks. We're actually in the cross right now. I'm going to be doing some camera boating for my buddy Luke Palmer. My buddy Aaron is his camera guy. We're going to jump in the boat, follow them around on the Mississippi River. But I am up here on pool 5. I need to go catch a bass. But guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions about setups or anything like that, hit me up. Head on over to ALX's website. Check out all the different rods that they have. Check out Missile Baits, all the Grundens gear, all my sponsors. Can't thank them enough. The list of my sponsors that y'all need to check out is in the description down below. I cannot thank them enough for supporting me and everything that I do, allowing me to chase this dream. Guys, we're EQ bound. We'll see y'all in New York.